Hello and welcome to Bargain Bin, where we take a look at some clearance toys and see maybe what went wrong or if they just didn't get a fair shake. So, for today, what do you get when you combine Squinkies with Bakugan? Not sure if that deserved a scare cord right away, but it's an ominous start. Anyway, the answer is Bungees. Produced by Jazzwares, Bungees are these little squishy toys that have a magnet underneath. They're designed to be kind of these bouncy kinetic toys that hop around and then land on these little metal discs after you bounce them or flick them or ricochet them in some fashion. They're a little bit like marbles in that way. They've got cute little creative designs and they might have caught your attention at your local toy store. Now, in order for the gimmick to work, the Bungees come with a little corresponding disc, which is designed to be the target onto which you try to stick them. These discs are a little bit like, they're metal, they're a little bit like the tassos you can find in a chip bag, only a bit bigger. Like the tassos you can find in a chip bag. I'll stop. So they come in a good variety. There's a bunch of different colors, and these colors actually correspond to numbered points on the discs. And here's where some of the trouble begins, because these Bungees, I don't think they really know what kind of game they were trying to be. One thing I notice about the instructions is that they're really kind of willy-nilly, and that always bothers me on toys when the rules are basically, hey, do whatever you feel like, man, without any kind of established thing. Like, there's a version of the game that uses the discs, there's one that use the cards, I don't even know why the cards exist. There's, you decide whatever you want to, there's no, like, standard distance or arrangement or number or anything like that. I mean, with Bakugan, you know what you were getting. You had the marbles, and you had the cards, at least at the beginning, that's all it was, and you had 3 of each, you had a definite distance from where you fired from, everything was all nice and solidly put together. With this, I don't even know where they're trying to go with this. I mean, like I said, anything that kind of lacks structure is always a turnoff for me. Now, there is one place where the rules are definite and solid, and that is with the large and expensive Bungees Battleground, where along with flicking the Bungees from certain levels depending on what turn it is, it's flicked onto these large magnetic tiles. They're nice big targets, and they have a point value printed on them. So the idea is you have them land on the tiles in order to gain the points. And as an extra little treatsy in the tiles, on the bottom you can actually clip in the disc. So if you, if say everybody brings 7 discs and 4 Bungees, you can attach the appropriate characters to the bottom of the disc and use those in addition. But here's the thing, the discs, they have the point value on the outside, they also have a corresponding number on the bottom of these that has a number on the inside, and it's really complicated. Like, they had this fun idea of a magnetic kinetic toy. Like, I've heard of this happening. They have like a fun idea, but then somebody decides they need to shove in a battle game where the kids won't like it. For example, the Chima example I gave before with the racers and the card game, which really does nothing. This is like 4 different games all combined together. Like, you got the painful ripoff of Bakugan with the cards, which don't really seem to have much of a point at all. I mean, they like have some points on the back, but there really doesn't seem to be much of a point. We have the incredibly loosely designed disc targeting game, which I guess is supposed to be like a sophisticated marbles game, which doesn't seem to have any setting at all. And then there's this game, which, like I said, I love the table here. I love how complicated it is. You have the 100-point score box, which nobody will ever hit, but there's a couple things in the rules that bug me. For example, they have you start at the closest on round 1, and then go out to round 3 shooting from far away. Honestly, I think that should have been reversed, where you shoot out far from round 1 and you shoot closer to round 3, because when you land on one of these, you remove it from the board. In this case, you should have a closer shooting distance when there are fewer targets. That's one tweak I would make anyway. So, what went wrong? Part of it is bad timing. These guys came late to the party after things like Trash Pack and Bakugan and Squinkies and all those things were a distant memory. They really couldn't latch on that well to what they had. I mean, they are pretty creative, they're pretty cutely designed, and the magnet gimmick is fine, but at the same time, they're also kind of pricey. Like, unless you buy the blind packs, which are like $4 for one of these things, a single pack of one of these characters can be like $5, $6, and that's for just one of those. And like I said, this is $30, but this comes with a lot of great stuff. But to have the individual ones be so expensive is really part of what gives it kind of an factor that makes people second guess whether or not they want to buy it. I mean, I understand it's a pretty sophisticated thing. It uses the nice magnets, but honestly, I think that's had a pretty big impact on what could be sold. Although, I think the single most alienating factor is some of the supporting material Jazzwares has put out on their Facebook page. Like, these little cartoons they've made gives me the strangest game of boy or girl ever. So, let's play! First up, we have Nova. Well, Nova, you know, it's got kind of the big, bright eyes, it's got the fun smile, it's got kind of chubby legs with big hips and a one-piece bathing suit, so I'm going to say... girl. What? No, that can't be right. Okay, let's try again. Limu. Okay, well, it's kind of a dragon thing. It's got the big, tough look, the long claw arms and stuff like that. I'm gonna say the boy. What? Come on, I'm 0 for 2 on this. Okay, let's take a look at one more. Okay, there is no way that is anything other than a girl. I mean, look at that. It's got the big, cutesy anime eyes. It's got the big old happy mouth. It's got the hand up kind of doing a silly, girly laugh. It's got pigtails. There is no way that thing isn't a girl. In fact, I am so confident that that is a girl that if I am wrong, I will take this helpless animal, which might be the subject of a future bargain bin, and kill it with this gun, which might be the subject of a future review if I am wrong. You have got to be kidding. Okay, fine. What does he sound like?
What do we have here?